My name is David. I'm a KOK-PLAY Frontier from the Genesis Group. Today I'm going to go over what, CA Young Cho, what he had to say. And it's pretty important. It really is. So I want to go over this with you guys. So here it says we're having a third halving. So a halving is basically like if you have a Bitcoin halving, then you're going to be producing half the amount of Bitcoin as before. Okay. So normally after Bitcoin has a halving, you wait a handful of months, the price shoots up. And that's why we're seeing what right now from the halving. KOK-Coin just, I don't know when or if it already did or when it's going to happen, but KOK-Coin is having a halving, right? And that's probably part of the reason why KOK-Coin went up. I was just saying KOK-Coin is going to go up in price. I was saying it's going to happen before the end of the month 2 weeks ago or longer than that probably, because I was just looking at the charts. But along with the chart, really the news behind us probably right here is a third halving. Okay, so let's go further into this interview.
안녕하세요. KOK 회원 여러분. 블록체인 기업 이디움의 치프 아키텍트를 맡고 있는
So he is the chief architect of Medium. Okay.
최영규입니다. 조금 더 나은 KOK 생태계를 위해서 오늘 많은 프론티어분들이 반가워하실 소식을 전해드리고자 합니다.
So he said he has good news. So he has good news for the Koch family, and that's that we are having another halving. We're having a third halving. So he's going to explain what it means.
KOK 토큰의 반감기인데요. 본 영상을 통해서 첫째, 반감기가 무엇인지, 둘째, KOK가 반감기를 맞이할
So what is the significance of a halving? Well, he'll tell you.
것은 어떤 의미를 갖는지에 대해서 차례로 말씀드리겠습니다. 비트코인으로 대표되는 여러 암호화폐들은 이 반감기를 가지고 있는데요.
So, with Bitcoin, a halving is you're going to be through the whole mining process. From that point on, only half the amount of Bitcoin that was being produced before will be produced from that point on. And so he's basically saying that's what KOK-Coin is doing. However many KOK-Coins were being produced, about half of that will be getting produced in the future.
이가 도래할 때마다 채굴량이 감소하죠. 반감기를 두는 이유는 바로 인플레이션을 방지하여서 코인의 가격을 안정시키고 코인의 희소성을 높여서 가치를 유지하고.
So now he's saying the point of a halving is to keep and stabilize the price, right? Because I kept saying in all the videos, what makes KOK-Coin and even Bitcoin or some of these other cryptocurrencies in general, what makes them important, what makes them valuable, is one reason is that there's a set limit. So they won't be any more. You can't duplicate whatever is after they're all made. You can't duplicate anymore. And what a halving does is not only is there a set limit, but there's going to be a limit in the distribution of KOK-Coins. And as long as there's a limit of distributions in KOK-Coins, what happens is you're going to have less KOK-Coins that can be bought, and you'll have whatever's being sold, but in the future you have less KOK-Coins that can be bought and sold, because only half the amount of KOK-Coins that are being produced now will be produced in the future. And so as the demand of KOK-Coins go up, because there's less KOK-Coins around, it's going to keep it stable, as in stable is going to go up in a stable price. But also it prevents, especially in case of Bitcoin and these other coins, is going to prevent KOK-Coin from having massive drops in price, which we haven't really experienced. So I don't even think we'll experience that till we pass over like $5, $6, $7, $8 or something, just KOK-Coin. But anyway, that's part of what the halving does. It keeps the price steady from massive, whales just dumping prices, right? The demand is there. Also, halving will make the value of the coins more valuable, especially when there's a utility case like KOK-Coin where you could buy and purchase products with it. There's an ecosystem for it to be utilized. And so that's what makes the value of it sustainable. Even at, even at its wild rate of it going up in value.
목적이 있습니다. 반감기가 도래했다는 것은 KOK를 보유하고 있는 회원 여러분들께는 매우 반가운 소식인 것입니다. 그래서 이제 이번
So you're saying the next halving is good news for people who hold KOK. Because it's going to make the price go up, value of the coins go up. And so if you're a holder, you're going to want to keep holding it and not sell it unless you want to use it to buy something or to mine more because it keeps going up. So it's good news for holders.
우리가 세 번째 반감기를 맞이해야 했는데요. 우리는 지난 두 번의 반감기를 통해서 많은 호재를 여러분들에게 전달해 드릴 수 있습니다. 특히 두 번째 반감기를 지나면서 세계 탑 5 거래소.
So he's saying every time they had a halving, something good, some good news came up. The last halving, KOK-Coin was able to get on KuCoin, which is like the 5th biggest exchange in the world.
코인에 상장했죠. 그리고 이어서 블록체인 전문 기업인 미디움.
And there was a merger between Medium, right? Because Medium is, the big sister, the mother company now of KOK-Coin.
빠르게 이 세 번째 반감기가 도래했다는 것은 그만큼 KOK의 성장이 잘 진행되고 있고 어쩌면 더 빠르게.
So he's also saying the whole point of the third halving happening sooner than expected is because of how well KOK-Coin is advancing as a platform with memberships and the technology and the features that are being developed and added.
일단 좋은 발기승이 되겠습니다. 우리가 반감기라고 말하는데 정확한 표현은 발행률의 조정입니다. 코인의 발행률을 본다면 수량은 이런 식으로 증가하거든요. 이것은 exponential.
So you see that exponential growth rate, right? And that's what KOK-Coin has had. It's had an exponential growth rate. Even the value of KOK-Coins has gone up exponentially.
하다고 말을 하죠. 그래서 발행률이 높으면은 이처럼 가파르게 성장하겠죠. 발행률이 낮으면 이처럼 완만하게 성장합니다. 그러나 KOK는 페어시어 이네이블이라는 그런 가치를 가지고 만들어진 블록체인으로 이루는 디지털 콘텐츠 플랫폼이거든요. 이 플랫폼을
So right now, if you look at the three exponential arrows, obviously the first one that's going up the highest at the fastest amount, that's, when it does that, it's growing at a fast rate. And if you look at the third one, it's growing at a slower rate. KOK-Coin is a platform, right? It's a digital content platform. And so right now he's trying to describe what is the best ecosystem for that type of platform.
단어는 생태계라는 말이 있습니다. 생태계는 생태계 고유의 특성, 성장하는 패턴이 있습니다. 보통 그것은 S커브, 시그노이드라고
So
말합니다.
now he's saying the best case situation for platform business is you want an S curve. An S curve growth is or sigmoid is a special type of curve that really that's what you want in an ecosystem that KOK-PLAY is developing.
특성을 가지는데요. 시그노이드라는 말 표현은 S커브 형태를 갖고 성장합니다. S커브는 이런 식이라는 것이죠. S. 그래서 우리가 블록체인으로 이루는 디지털 콘텐츠 플랫폼이 살아있는 생태계가 되기 위해서는 S커브와도 같은 생태 곡선을 따르는 것이 맞습니다.
So for KOK-Coin to be a developing natural growth, organic ecosystem, the best pattern of growth is the S curve.
이 생태 곡선을 따라서 성장하게 되는데 그렇게 설계를 했습니다. 다른 각도에서 보면은 이 생태계를 축소하는 측정하는 두 개의 특성이 있습니다. 하나는
So he's saying there are two ways to measure the growth of the platform, okay?
아주 중요한 KOK 토큰의 발행 수량이 굉장히 중요한 지표이겠죠.
The amount of KOK coins that are being distributed and the number of members. Okay, so he's saying to measure the growth of KOK coin, the best way is to look at how many KOK coins are being distributed and how many members are joining the family.
바람직합니다. 그래서 이것을 이제 하나는 토큰, 하나는 회원수로 볼 때 우리가 목표로 하는 총 발행 어떤 그런 토큰의 양이겠죠. 이것이 현재 이렇게 형성하고 있습니다. 잘 따라가고 있습니다. KOK 총 회원수도 마찬가지로 그런 S컵을 그리면서 성장하게 됩니다.
So right now the top is, I think the top growth, he's talking about the amount of KOK coins that are getting distributed is at an S curve. It's on the rise, it's moving up. And so far the members joining the KOK-PLAY family, the ecosystem, is also moving up as well into like an S curve, into an S curve shape.
더 많아지는 것을 크고 넓게 펴져 있는 진중한 생태계, 프로토콜 경제가 가능한 생태계가 되기를 바라는 것입니다. 우리가 원래 가지고 있는 그런 목표치, 이것이 되기 위해서는 토큰의 발행률이 이렇게 성장하는 것이 중요합니다. 이렇게 되기 위해서는 무언가 발행률을 조절함으로써 지속적으로 토큰의 발행 커브가 이처럼 되도록 우리가 조절해 나가는 겁니다. 그래서 반감기.
So here, let me hold on. Let's snapshot this and explain what that is. Hold on.
이라고 우리가 꼴리고 표현하지만 토큰의 발행률에 관계된 변수, 파라미터들을 조절함으로써 우리 회원수의 증가의 그 추이에 발행의 추이도 맞춰나가는 그런 개념이 있는 것입니다. 이번 반감기를 통해 우리 KOK 생태계가 더욱 건강하고 지속 가능한 성장을 이루어낼 수 있을 것으로 저희는 믿습니다. 항상 KOK를 믿고 아껴주시는 모든 회원 여러분들께 더욱 발전해 나가는 모습.
So he's saying, everything they're doing, even with the halving and all that, they're doing it with the consideration that all the KOK-PLAY family members, we are believing in them, the leaders like Mr. Cho, in making the right decisions that optimizes growth for us and the platform. We're believing in them that they're making the right decisions that is best for us, not even for them, but what's best for us and the ecosystem. Okay, that's what we're believing, right? And they know that that's what we're expecting out of them, and that's why they're making the decisions that they're making, and that's why they've been so successful. You can't say that about these other platforms. Some of them, they're like cons, they're con artists. But I can't say that about KOK-Coin, because KOK-Coin's been very legit from just the basic fundamentals of business. Now here, let me explain the S-curve. Okay. So let's say this is the S-curve like that. Okay. Oh, that's a better one. Let me get rid of this one. All right. So what this is the amount of KOK coins getting distributed. Okay. Well, let's make that one even stronger like that. And then now you have a bunch of coins getting distributed. And then what happens is, as the amount of people hits a certain plateau, it moves this way. And right now, this line here, that's the people joining. And so when you do the halvings, you want to do halving so it matches the amount of people coming in. So you don't want the tokens to come up this fast when the amount of people coming in is kind of going this way, because it's not matching. So when you have, it's going to reach and distribute the right amount of coins for amount of people coming in. Why you want this right here is because that's exponential growth in the platform. You don't want a platform to grow this way. You want it to go this way, because after this way it's going to go like this. So you're saving time for maximize growth. And so when the coins are distributed, it's distributed in the right amount based on the amount of people coming in, which is optimally the best. Okay, what happens is, in my, this is how I view it, I could be wrong, but what happens is, if Coke coins are being distributed like that, but the S curve is this way, then you're distributing more Coke coins to a slower growing number of people. What happens then is you're going to be limited amount of Coke coins here while this is still growing like this. And so when it's growing like this, when really Coke coins need to be distributed evenly through this period here, it's already out because it's plateauing there. So it prevents all of that. They're just matching it just right. Okay, and so they're doing, it's brilliant if you think about it. I think that's how I'm getting it. And so they're trying to match it just right. What is an S curve, right? That's a great question. So let me explain what an S curve is.
Hi everyone. This morning I'm letting you in on a little secret about technology, innovation, and how to manage it. So this is what cameras used to look like. Right? But we all know that they've evolved a great deal. Now they're much more likely to look something like this. Okay? Or even maybe something like this. Now how do we think about that? Well, here's a very simple framework. It's called the S-curve. On the x-axis here, you have R&D investment. On the y-axis, some measure of technical performance, say resolution or maybe size. And the point of this framework is that it helps you think about how technologies evolve. So for example, for cameras, right? Think about those big boxy things that they used to have at the time of the Civil War. They invested a ton, but really they didn't make a lot of progress for a very long time. Then, George Eastman came about, and with Kodak we hit some sort of dominant design, very, very fast progress, until we reached some sort of plateau in the late 20th century. Now the beauty of this is that it doesn't apply only to cameras, it applies to pretty much any kind of technology you might think of.
Yes, it applies to a lot of things. Not just technology, any type of technology, but even with KOK-PLAY, distribution, the amount of people coming into a platform.
So think about diapers, for example. Well, this is what diapers used to look like in the days of yore. But today, they're actually a very complex piece of technology. They look something more like this. So cameras, diapers, and pretty much any other kind of technology you could be able to think about. From microchips to automobiles to antidepressant medications. So what does this mean for managers? Well, sometimes a new disruptive technology comes along and there's a discontinuity, a new S-curve, with maybe a new metric of performance. And it turns out that this transition from the old S-curve to the new S-curve is extremely challenging for established firms to execute. Kodak, for example, couldn't do it in the case of digital photography. So I'm teaching a whole class about this.
All right, so that's true. And this is where KOK-PLAY is extremely ingenious in that. So let's go back to the S-curve, right? And so once again, if you have the S-curve, if you look at KOK-PLAY, you had the amount of people coming in, and you had KOK-PLAY distribution, the coin distribution, and as KOK-PLAY, the platform develops, is getting better as they're adding more technology. Remember, we're not even like here. We're probably here. It's just boosting up. You get what I'm saying? The growth of KOK-PLAY, if this is an S curve, we're probably just here in this area. We still got a long ways to go till it levels off. You get what I'm saying? We're not here. We're not even in the middle. We're like in this area in the bottom. And that's what they're doing the halving, because they want to make sure the coins get distributed right. And if they release the technology and they release the coins and the halvings at the right time, not only will everybody who comes in even at this stage and this stage and this stage will get the right amount of coins with equal distribution based on your investment, but KOK-Coin itself, the actual value of KOK-Coin will move up in an S curve. And that's what we're actually seeing in KOK-Coin as well. So let's discard that and let's look over here. And so if you look at KOK-Coin, what you're seeing in the price action is actually you're seeing an S curve. And hopefully, hopefully it doesn't stop here, right? We want KOK-Coin to move up like this. Okay, that's what we want. And the way that'll work best for it to have that type of S curve, for KOK-Coin to have that type, because right now it's just moving up, and it's you remember how I told you this card in this picture. Oh no. Okay, where if the people joining KOK-Play was like in this area, at least in my opinion, we're just getting into that big up movement. Technically, if that's the beginning, so is the price. Okay, so KOK-Coin is moving like this. The value, KOK-Coin's here. Why? Why am I saying that? Why wouldn't I say that? Because one, I'm basing that on here on the amount of people joining. So as more people join, more people are invested into the coins, the currency of the platform, which will raise the value of the platform. But what's going to make people join? Not only the distribution of the KOK-Coins, which they're having, so it can match the rate of people joining. So that way, at here, when it's leveled off, is at the same rate, but also the technology. And this is why I said KOK-Coin is so genius, because right now, if you look at older companies, they're here. They're already leveled off here. The problem is it's just a platform, because you have other digital platforms, but they're not making, like Kodak in that one video I showed you, they're not making the upgrade. And so if you look at KOK-Play, the technology of KOK-Play is here, but it passed. So imagine the second line that's coming in, that's where KOK-Play is coming in, right here in this line. Yeah. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying this second? Look, if this is the old platforms, KOK-Play is here going like that. Why am I saying that about KOK-Play? The reason why this second curve is KOK-Play is because they're going to add the metaverse. They're going to add different, services on KOK-Play besides, and metaverse is the new technology where these older platforms can't keep up. I mean, that's why do you think Facebook is moving to the metaverse? Because Facebook want to get on the second line. KOK-Play's on the second line because you have your own ecosystem in the coins. You have the KOK-Play currency, KOK-Coins. You have the metaverse coming. You're going to have the search engine coming. You're going to have the YouTube version coming. You might have like imagine like a Facebook, but a metaverse type of Facebook, but KOK-Play. And so it's the second curve that's moving up. You understand? And that's why KOK-Play has a whole, 10, 20 years ahead of itself of advancements in the future. And right now, we're just like here. You get what I'm saying? We're still in the beginning stages. And so, because of the technology, where we're at with members coming in, with the technology coming in, with all this technology left before it settles off, that means that the currency of KOK-PLAY has a long ways to go in terms of value. You guys understanding that? Okay. I hope you do. I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. All right. I hope you do. And that's that's what I think will happen right now. I'm not your financial advisor. Remember that. But I'm just telling you what I think will happen. And I gave you reasons why. Okay. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when you hear some credible information like that. And yeah, share it with a friend. Okay. Anyway, all of you out there, please stay safe. All right. It's wild stuff, right? The world is printing money left and right. And luckily with KOK-PLAY doesn't print money. It's even halving, distributing less to make sure the right amount of people, based on all the amount of people coming in, especially thinking ahead in the future, everybody will get an equal share of KOK-PLAY based on how much they mine, right? Distribution. And but yeah, all this printing, expect more inflation. And, you have shortages around the world. So, you might want to stock up and prepare for who knows what in the future, which is part of why I'm in KOK-PLAY. That's why I keep mining back, right? I mined today. I mined on the 20th or yesterday, yeah. I just keep mining. I keep mining back, okay? I'm in there, believe me. And so, but you want to prepare for the future. And this winter could be a tough one. Next year could be pretty tough too. So you want to prepare for all that, okay? I'm just saying that because I got a lot of love for y'all, all right? So even if you're not part of the KOK-PLAY family and you see this, just prepare. Better safe than sorry. Now, if you want to join KOK-PLAY, please go to Play Store, hit KOK space PLAY. This is my invite code, QAABIRWL. All right? Everyone, stay safe out there. God bless y'all, really. God bless y'all. And Coke on.